Hi guys, this is Scribbly again with another fountain pen review, and since it's about to get summer here in Sweden finally, I thought we might continue the little review series with a pen that quite fits the summer theme because it looks nice, like has a nice orange summer color, and that is the Kaweco Ice Sport fountain pen. The Ice Sport is a pocket fountain pen. It has a sort of a, I think that's why it's called ice. I'm not sure about that, but that's just my imagination. That it might be called ice because it sort of is like icy, see-through, like an ice cube, and has a little bit of an, it's this octagonal shape of the cap here of the fountain pen has a little bit an ice cube like appearance or something like that. So it's essentially a pocket fountain pen, and it's available in a number of different colors. I mean, so essentially Kaweco has this Kaweco Sport series. I mean, the Kaweco Sport series is essentially all their pocket fountain pens that you screw together like this, and then the cap will be posted like that in order to have a full-sized fountain pen. So they have this Kaweco Sport series, and there are different types of Kaweco Sport. So there's the classic Sport, which has whereas the whole body and barrel and all that has like a non-translucent plastic. So those pens are available in non-translucent as well. Then there are different colors like blue, red, green, white, or whatever. Then there's the Ice Sport, which is this series here, which is always have a totally transparent barrel, and then the section part and the cap has a transparent color. In that case here I have this nice summery orange, but then there's also, I think, green, yellow, and blue, and other colors. And then of course there are also so that pen costs around 20 euro, depending on where you get it. Like 18 to 22 euro, around 20 euro, and a little bit more. There's also a version of the Kaweco Sport which is in a higher price class, and that is like the AL Sport, and so then it's made out of aluminium. In different finishes, and then you can also look out for another Kaweco Sport pen which is also pretty popular, is I think it's called Brass Sport or something like that, then which is made out of brass in that case. But well, that's just for that here is the Kaweco Ice Sport that I have in this nice orange here. So let's have a look at the pen itself. So most of what I say for that pen will apply to all those pens that I've just talked about, because the basic shape and the basic makeup of the pen is the same with all those pens. So if you look at the finial on top of the cap top, it says Kaweco, 3 syllables, the company logo. This is made out of metal, or some kind of metal. I don't know what kind of metal, but it's silver, and so that the color of that cap here is silver with all the Ice Sport, as the whole theme is silver with all the Ice Sport. The Kaweco Sport type logo here is also silver, and then the nib is also silver, saying Kaweco EF for extra fine, and having a couple of ornaments on it. So the color theme of that pen is silver, and if you get the Classic Sport, for example, then you will have the finial and the type logo and the nib in gold. And there's also clips available. You slide on clips so that you can slide it into a shirt pocket if you like to. So silver theme, and with other pens a gold theme. So you can have a look at that. So that looks pretty nice. Then you have this octagonal shaped cap, and since it's sort of transparent or translucent, you have a slight demonstrator effect. And what you can see pretty well here is a small inner cap, and that inner cap of course prevents the nib from drying out. So if I screw that in here, you see that small seal gap here closing, and now the nib is protected from drying out. And I have to say that that works pretty well. I mean, like it's no problem to put that pen down for, I don't know, a week or two, and then just pick it up and unscrew it, and it will start writing. So this drying out mechanism works fairly effectively. Since it's an all plastic pen, you can eyedropper convert it, which means fill that whole barrel here with ink. You just apply a little bit silicone grease around those threads here, and of course like that, and then you screw the pen together. And like I have essentially made an eyedropper conversion video with that pen, and I had it filled with Pelikan Mandarin, because it was really fitting the all orange theme of the pen really well. I mean, like, it really looked amazing. And I wanted to upload that video of the eyedropper conversion, but unfortunately in the course of the upload, YouTube sort of crashed, so I lost that video, which is a pity. But I've made another short video where you can see the ink slooshing around in the barrel after the eyedropper, after the successful eyedropper conversion. And I still have that. Fortunately, it's just a couple of seconds, but I will add that video to the corresponding blog post of this review video here. So you can at least see, however, you can't see the full eyedropper conversion, but at least you can see how the pen would look like once eyedropper converted, and that really works well. That I had no problem with it whatsoever. However, when the ink level went down a little bit, there was a lot, every now and then there was some excess ink coming out of nib and feed and stuff like that. So, which is when I then emptied the pen and added a converter into it. But so if you would have you could have well just filled up the ink again and apply a little bit silicone grease around the threads here, and then everything would be good to go without any problem. So that's a kind of cool thing that you can do with all those ice sport pens, since they're a transparent barrel. You can convert them to eyedropper, which is kind of cool. So then when it comes to filling the pen is of course rather short, and we can have a small size comparison here. I have a Lamy Safari here, so we can maybe compare the sizes a little bit. So you see that the Sport really is meant to be a pocket pen. I mean, like, it's really a fairly short pen. Compare it like this. So if you want to have you can use it for shorthand notes. It works like that. I have rather large hands, and I can write with a pen like that. However, for a long writing session, that probably would be a little bit uncomfortable. So it is better to post the pen, and then you really have a comfortable full-size pen to write with. Really good. And so you see now the size is approximately the same as a Lamy Safari. It's even a little bit longer. So since of course you have a quite big gap here when the pen is posted, which now extends to the length of the pen. But anyway, since the barrel here is fairly short, it does only take, normally it does only take standard international converters, the standard international short converters. And if you want to use bottled ink, you either have to take a standard international short cartridge, not converter, cartridge, either a standard international short cartridge, and then you refill that with a syringe and a needle or whatever, or you use those Kaweco squeeze converters, which have been around for quite a while, and some people were not really happy with them because, like, it is a bit difficult to get ink into them. This one here is now filled with Kaweco Old Gold. Or they also have, Kaweco also released a newer piston converter. It's a very, very tiny converter, doesn't take a lot of ink, but like I just thought it looked a little bit weird in that. I preferred the squeeze sack converter to that one, but that works better. So like you just insert the converter, submerge nib and feed, and then you can just pull up the piston like that, and then that whole thing is filled, and yeah, you would have that like this. So you could also use, of course, those Kaweco converters. if you want to. Exactly. So the nib, we can have a look at the nib itself. It's a quite cute nib. It's a tiny nib. If I compare that to a Lamy Safari nib, you will see a size difference, right? So this is a fairly tiny nib. It's not such a large nib, but as said, it is a pocket pen. It writes fairly smooth. However, the nib provides quite some feedback. It's a steel nib. I have an extra fine here. The ink flow is pretty good. I can't complain. We do a short writing sample in a bit. It says Kaweco Germany, and then what else does it say? Since, I can't even read that really without magnifying glasses. Since 1800 or whatever, like the Kaweco company start date, when the company was founded or whatever. Kaweco extra fine, some ornaments on it as said. Feet down there, also has a Kaweco thing on it. Yeah, also says Kaweco on it. Yeah, so it's, as said, posted a pretty decent, decently sized fountain pen, and writes very well. Kaweco Ice Sport. Got an extra fine nib on that one, and the ink is Kaweco Old Gold. Since it's a steel nib, there's not a lot of line variation that you can get out of that. A little bit line variation. When it comes to wetness, I would say it's moderate. The Kaweco Old Gold or the Kaweco inks in general, let's have a look at the line variation here. You see, you can definitely get some line variation out of that. However, you have to press quite hard to achieve that. It's a moderately wet nib. The Kaweco inks, they are quite wet in themselves, so that's why you see a pretty wet line that the pen was laying down right here. But overall, it's a really cool pen. Yeah, it's a pocket pen. It's easy to transport. It's easy to store away. Comfortably fits into the hand. Just throw it into the bag. Slide it into your shirt pocket if you have a clip. Just put it in the pocket of your pants. This inner cap here prevents the nib pretty effectively from drying out, as said. So it's also no problem to put the pen down for quite a while. Works very well for shorthand notes. If you have not posted the pen, shorthand notes, no problem. And if you post the pen, you have a full-size pen. So that's it with the review. Thanks, and I see you next time with the next review. Bye bye.